A beautiful afternoon to you and welcome to TV Sapienza News. On the news is Oluchi Ojobamdele. Starting with the headlines, where Governor Chukwuma Soludo of Anambra State has signed 6 bills into law as part of his efforts to advance the state development project. Israeli forces assault 6 United Nations schools in East Jerusalem, ordering them to close within 30 days, according to the United Nations Agency for the Palestinian Refugees and the Israeli Ministry of Education. 3 teams, Edo Queens, Bayelsa Queens and Rivers Angels, have qualified for the 2024 and 2025 Nigerian Women Football League NWFL Premiership Super 6 playoffs after the conclusion of Match Day 11 fixtures. Now the details of the news. Governor Chukwuma Soludo of Anambra State has signed 6 bills into law as part of his efforts to advance the state's development projects. The bills reportedly include the Anambra State Development and Investment Corporation Law 2025 and the Anambra State Electricity Law 2025, the Anambra State Homeland Security Amendment Law, and the Anambra State Indigenous Traditional Medicine Practices Law, among others. While signing the bills into law, the Governor Soludo said the laws will strengthen governance and serve as an indicator of progress in the state. Governor Soludo commended the State House of Assembly for working closely with the executive to make laws that would positively affect the citizens. Wife of the President, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, reaffirms the federal government's commitment to reducing maternal and child mortality through targeted health interventions across the country. Speaking during an engagement with traditional rulers in Jalingo, the Taraba state capital, the Nigerian First Lady stressed the importance of grassroots involvement in addressing health challenges, especially among women and children. She called on traditional leaders to support the federal government's Renewed Hope initiative by sensitizing their communities to the availability of free healthcare services, including treatments for HIV and AIDS and tuberculosis. Remi also provided incentives to frontline health workers for the great job they are doing, adding that if they are well supported, the rate of maternal and infant mortality will reduce significantly. On his part, the Coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Ali Pate, said over 8,500 frontline health workers have been trained in the Northeast alone, including 1,300 from Taraba. However, Remi Tinubu presented 10,000 professional kits to midwives across the 6 Northeast states and handed over a 50 million naira check for the empowerment of 1,000 women in Taraba State. The federal government with the Edo state government have set up a fact-finding committee to look into the circumstances surrounding the recent killing of 16 Kanu-bound travelers in Uromi, the administrative headquarters of East and North East local government area of the state. Edo State Governor Senator Monday Webolo, who made this known on Thursday when he received a high-power delegation from Kanu State led by the Deputy Governor of the state, Comrade Aminu Abdul Salam Gwazo, at his government house in Benin City. He said President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is not happy over what happened in Uromi, and he is determined to ensure the state and nation are safe for everybody to live and do business. The Deputy Governor of Kano State, Comrade Aminu Abdul Salam, appreciated Governor Webolo for his earlier visit to Kano. He stated that the delegation was in Edo State to thank the governor for the peaceful steps he took when he came to Kano State in regards to the Uromi incident. The sole administrator of Rivers State, Vice Admiral Ibok Ete Ibas, has dismissed reports making rounds on social media that he had approved the recruitment of 10,000 personnel into the state civil service. He revealed this in a statement issued on Thursday in Port Harcourt by the acting head of Rivers State Civil Service, Dr. Iyengi Brown, who described the viral claim as fake and urged the public to disregard it. The administrator assured the appropriate information will be released by the Rivers State Civil Service Commission when the time is right. He reiterated that any official communication on civil service employment would come directly from the relevant state agencies and not through unverified online platforms. The Anambra State Primary Healthcare Development Agency said it will launch the third round of its big catch-up vaccination exercise on April 22nd. The executive secretary of the health agency, Chisom Uchem, made the announcement at a stakeholders meeting on Thursday in Awka. Uchem, who was represented by Dr. Nnamdi Uliagbafose, Director of Disease Control and Immunization, said the vaccination would run from April 22 to April 27 at healthcare centers, community centers, and other designated posts. Dr. Uliagbafose said the campaign was designed to bridge the gap in immunization coverage, particularly for zero-dose children and children who may have missed their scheduled vaccinations. Also, the immunization officer in the state, Edith Onwuka, said that Anambra had surpassed its target coverage of 65%, effectively curbing outbreaks of certain vaccine-preventable diseases. A representative of the World Health Organization, Ndubisi Oji, urged stakeholders to be collectively committed to achieving the desired target in the third BCU round. Federal government has lifted restrictions on employment in federal tertiary institutions, granting a waiver for staff recruitment through the Federal Ministry of Education. The announcement of the waiver followed a ban placed on public employment by former President Muhammadu Buhari. A statement by the Director of Press, Folashade Boriowo, said institutions are mandated to support their manpower needs to the Committee on Waiver and Recruitment of the Ministry for review. According to Boriowo, the Honorable Minister for Education, Dr. Maruf Tunji Alaosa, has directed all federal tertiary institutions that have been granted waivers to recruit staff to publicly advertise the available vacancies in at least one national daily paper and on their respective websites in other relevant academic and professional journals. She noted that the directive aims to ensure a transparent, open and competitive recruitment process that offers equal opportunity to all Nigerians eligible. Borowe further noted that the Federal Ministry of Education remains firmly dedicated to promoting integrity and fairness in all matters related to Nigerian higher education system. In Lagos State, the state governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has pledged that his administration will not leave any part of the state behind in the execution of infrastructural projects. The governor made the pledge while giving an update on the ongoing Okafor-Ilobo-Eremi-Pota Road project in the Badagry local government area on Thursday. He noted that 12.88-kilometer road is not just an infrastructure project, but a crucial alternative route that would enhance connectivity for communities within the Badagry local government area. According to him, the road will feature a semi-rigid single carriageway with an average width of 10 meters and two bridges that will facilitate smoother travel. Governor Sanwo-Olu maintained that the project is designed to uplift and enhance connectivity among communities. In Anambra State, Governor Charles Soludo has dismissed the chances of the All Progressives Congress (APC) in the upcoming November 8 Anambra governorship election, saying that the party lacks the grassroots presence needed to win in the state. Governor Soludo, who is seeking re-election under the All Progressives Grand Alliance (APGA), made the assertion during an interview on Arise Television. Recall that the national chairman of the ruling APC, Abdullahi Ganduje, had repeatedly stated that the APC had its eyes on southern states under the opposition control, such as Edo, Anambra, Osun, and Oyo State. However, responding to suggestions that APC might use federal might to snatch Anambra as it allegedly did in other states, Soludo said comparisons with states like Edo, Imo, and Kogi are misguided, expressing trust in democratic institutions. He, however, emphasized that APGA would approach the election as underdogs. The governor also reaffirmed his commitment to governance, listing achievements in education, healthcare, and infrastructure. In Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo's Virunga National Park, anthrax poisoning kills about 50 hippos and other large animals. The Virunga Park Director Emmanuel Demerode said tests confirmed anthrax poisoning, adding that buffalo have been killed too, and the exact cause of the poisoning is not yet clear. The deaths represent a major loss for the park, which has been working to increase the number of hippopotamus in recent decades after war reduced the population from over 20,000 to a few hundred by 2006. Anthrax is a serious disease usually caused by bacteria found naturally in soil, wild animals can become infected if they inhale anthrax spores in contaminated soils, plants, or water. The Congolese Institute for Nature Conservation said in a statement, warned residents to avoid wildlife in the area and to boil water from local sources before drinking. Still on the international scene, Israeli forces assault 6 United Nations schools in East Jerusalem, ordering them to close within 30 days, according to the United Nations Agency for the Palestinian Refugees and the Israeli Ministry of Education. The United Nations Commissioner General Philip Lazzarini said on social media that approximately 800 students will be directly impacted by the closure orders and may not be able to finish the school year. According to him, schools run by the agency serve Palestinians in areas occupied by Israel, including East Jerusalem, the West Bank, and Gaza. Israel's Ministry of Education said in a statement that parents were directed to register their students at other schools. Yulia Malinowski, a member of the Israeli parliament who sponsored the bill to ban the agency, confirmed the closure orders, saying the schools will have until May 8 to close down. Israel has long sought to dismantle the UN agency, arguing that some of its employees are members of Hamas and that their education system teaches students to hate Israel. And now to sports. Nigeria's Custom Volleyball Club has secured a 3-0 victory over Club Omni Sports Descartes of Cote d'Ivoire in the classification match at the ongoing 2025 African Women's Volleyball Club Championship. Nigerian Custom set to avenge their 3 previous defeats, defeated their counterparts in the first, second, and final set. Speaking after the match, coach Sania Akapson of Nigerian Customs said his team is determined to redeem their image, adding that the Controller General of Customs, Adewale Adeniyi, had invested in the championship. Akapson said that the team's motivation came from the desire to protect the organization's image and the Controller General's reputations. He said that in spite of the initial hopes of reaching the final 8, the team faced no pressure. Still on the world of sports, 3 teams, Edo Queens, Bayelsa Queens, and River Angels, have qualified for the 2024 and 2025 Nigerian Women's Football League (NWFL) Premiership Super 6 playoffs after the conclusion of Match Day 11 fixtures. A total of 8 matches were played on Wednesday across various stadia in the country, where Match Day 11 appeared to be crucial as teams seek Super 6 qualifications. In the biggest showdown of the week, Edo Queens edged closest rivals and host Remo Stars Ladies 1-0 in the top of the table Group A clash. The victory against the host holds Remo's perfect home records, who are second on the table with 25 points. In Lagos, FC Robo Queens handed visiting Rivers Angels their first defeat of the season with a 3-0 trash win to increase their points to 19 and maintain 3rd place in Group B. In spite of the loss, Rivers Angels have secured qualification for the Super 6 with 26 points and currently 2nd place on the log. Bayelsa Queens also sealed their place in the Super 6, maintaining their unbeaten run with a comfortable 2-0 victory over Benue Queens at the Samson Siasia Stadium. And to bring the news to an end, a recap of our headlines. Governor Chukwuma Soludo of Anambra State has signed 6 bills into law as part of his efforts to advance the state's development project. Israeli forces assault 6 United Nations schools in East Jerusalem, ordering them to close within 30 days, according to United Nations Agency for the Palestinian Refugees. 3 teams, Edo Queens, Bayelsa Queens, and Rivers Angels, have qualified for the 2024-2025 Nigerian Women Football League (NWFL) Super 6 playoffs at the conclusion of Match Day 11 fixtures. And that was the Sapientia News at 1. On behalf of the technical and editorial crew, I am Oluchi Ojobamdele. Thanks for choosing TV Sapientia. Bye for now.